Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's me, Colin, Project Constitution. We got a great show for you today. Today I have Ali joining me. He goes by Zarik Master on X at Zarik Master. Um, he has been, along with John Bray, he's the other one that has been doing tremendous work on the exploding mic theory since day one. And he actually has gotten a hold of, in a lot of work, he's done great work, and he was able to get a hold of very high quality video showing definitive proof. We're about to show you definitive proof that there was other devices, at least one other device, maybe two, maybe more, but at least one other device that went off to kill Charlie, like a fail-safe device. It's something that I first pointed out on September 29th, when I posted about it looked like maybe a bullet. I thought it was like a bullet casing or something that bounced off the top of the tent and fell down. It wasn't that, obviously. After we did a little bit more research, we saw that it was actually projected out of the top of the tent. But Ali he's able to get video which is clear enough that we can actually see the millisecond that it comes out, and we can even see the puff of air. We believe it was compressed air. We believe it was some kind of compressed air device that projected this thing out from the top of the tent. There are because you can actually see the puff of air behind the projectile as it comes out, which we will show you. And there was also, I don't think it may be connected to that, or it may be something, a whole nother device, but there's also the projectiles that were seen behind Charlie that were shot from the rear of the tent towards and at Charlie from behind. And we have videos of that to show you as well, including we can see the actual projectiles. We can even see the streak from where they were fired from. So we're going to show all that to you. Yeah, so we're going to get right into that. How are you doing, Ali?
Pretty good, Colin, man. Thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate you. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, brother. I wanted to have you on a lot sooner. I've just been so busy, man.
I completely understand, man. Same boat, brother.
All right. So what? I guess let's start with what I posted on the 29th, just to give people an idea of what we're talking about.
Let's go ahead. Let's get it.
Ooh, that's not the right one. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, this is the one right here. Let me.
Gang violence. Great.
So this is the one I originally posted back on the 29th. And actually, let me zoom out for a minute. As you see, originally I thought I said bullet casing bounces off tent after Charlie Kirk shot. Hidden angle revealed, and it changes everything. So I originally thought it was a bullet casing that had dropped out of the tent or bounced off the tent or something. Knowing what we know now, that's not the case. It was another, well, I mean, it was another projectile, but it wasn't a casing. It was an actual projectile. But it wasn't a bullet either, because it moved faster. I mean,
slower.
It was way slower than a bullet. It definitely was not. I don't think it was even subsonic. It wasn't supersonic, wasn't subsonic. It was a lot slower, because we actually can catch it on camera. We would not have been able to catch
it right when it fires off, and it's almost like it accelerates, and it catches more velocity. But you can see it right when it fires off.
Exactly.
And then it disappeared.
Yep. So let's check this one out first.
Gang violence. Great.
You can almost miss it, because it happens so fast without it being slowed down. You can almost miss it.
Exactly.
But if you look right over there, about in the middle of the screen, at the crease at the top of the tent there, right above the camera, there's like a little black thing, and where the circle is, yeah, right there. And then as you go on, and by the way, this is how we know it's a secondary device, because this is Charlie has already been hit at this point. Because if you look below, you see he's already been hit, and he's starting to fall over. So this is after Charlie's initial hit from the exploding, receiver or microphone or whatever. And then as he's falling down, you got boom right there. See it? See how it comes out there?
It's actually you see how you see a shadow of the other one. In my slow motion version of that video in the higher res, you can see almost all five projectiles come out of there. 6, I'm sorry. Literally 6 projectiles, but they shoot out so fast. It has to be in slow motion and at least 60 frames for you to catch it all. That's how I was able to find that, and it's just fishy. It's without a doubt. They knew that there was a chance that microphone would explode properly, or there's a chance that it would fail. So in case he survived, and he's walking away, it'll end up, it's a second chance technically. It's without a doubt that's what the purpose of that was.
Exactly. But in this one, you,
it's like pretty much improvised, like they knew there was a chance that he could survive, and if he survived, they need to make sure they finish the job,
Exactly. But in this one, you could actually see at least 2 of them, because I thought this was all one projectile at first, but it's not, because if you see the first one there, that's the first one. It goes down, and then there's a second one that pops up right there, right about the same location. That's a whole nother projectile. That's not the same one, because the first one, that's a second one. Because at the speed it's moving, it would have already been gone. So that's a whole other projectile there.
It's the way they're aligned too. They're like perfectly aligned. Like it's almost one unit firing all these, kind of like a flute almost. You know what a flute looks like? With like holes in there.
It's like it's like a air dart. Like the Aboriginals used or whatever. That's kind of what it is. Absolutely. So with that being said, I guess let's go to your clearer version, because the one that you have, which is a lot clearer, you can actually see the puff of air, and that's how we know it's like it's compressed air. We believe it's compressed air, and this is why, because you can actually see the puff of air that is projected out with the thing.
Exactly. And what I also think too is like some of those little pieces flying around, those are actually debris from it hitting the ground next to them too as well. You're gonna see it when the up close video comes through.
So I'm gonna let this play all the way through without stopping it for a minute, without slowing it down, and then I'll go frame by frame afterwards, and we can talk about it. Once again, pay attention to the top corner there. Charlie's hit, and then boom, that thing comes down.
Now you can see Dan Flood. Look how Dan Flood jumps. It's like he knew the mic was going to explode, but didn't know there's another contraption right next to him. Or he could have, but it startled him anyways. But, there's no doubt somebody would miss that and act like, oh, I don't know what that is. Just more projectiles firing off next to me.
Okay, so let's go back to this one, okay? Because we have... Now, like I said, pay attention, because when you see, let me go to the point where it shoots out. Okay, so here. Oh, hold on. Let me pause it. Why is it? I was going to say, why is it not stopping? Okay, so here's the point where it shoots out, right? You got boom, that's where it shoots out. And if you look, there's like a line behind it. You can see like a faint line behind it. That is and it goes away once that thing starts moving. That is the compressed. I believe that is the compressed air that we see shooting it out of the whatever that hell the thing is that it fired from. That's how we're pretty sure it's a compressed air device, that you can actually see the jet of the jet of compressed air
A lot
come
of
out with
people
that thing.
thought they heard a pneumatic sound, like of a pneumatic device going off too. Steve Manoon mentioned
Yes.
this. You know, like at
Yep.
least 7 people I heard them say this. Oh, I heard like air, like you know, like a compressor air, like spraying out of a line. You know, just heard a sound, something pneumatic. You can hear it too at the same time. If you listen closely, you know, minus the explosion and all that other stuff going on, and the sounds, the imitation sniper sounds they make, you can hear it clear as day.
Exactly. And you can also see that this is two separate. Once again, you can see that this is two separate projectiles here as well, because you have one on the left side there, and then you have one on the right side here. Both of them, it's one frame difference, only one frame difference, but they're both in the exact same area. And you know, from where it was fired out, that would be fired down like that. It wouldn't be fired over like this one. See how that one was over? It wouldn't be, you know, it would not move like that if it was only one. So that's at least you could tell right from this. There's at least two projectiles in this frame that we can see here. I know you said you got another video which shows 5 of them, which when you find that we'll show that too. But this shows at least 2 of them for sure right here.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try to get it right now. I have it here somewhere, man. I have so many videos, older videos that.
Yeah, if you could find it, it would be great to be able to show people. But if not, then that's cool. We can release it afterwards.
I just found it right now. Yep, I'm gonna send it to you right now, Colin. I'm gonna send it to you via SMS, so you can just play it.
Yeah. Great, that works. And then the second one, we'll move to the second one here, which you can see if you pay attention over here to the white circle, where you can see the projectiles again. And these actually, I don't think these are from the same thing. I think I actually think these are separate. I think these might be from a different device. I think there may actually be 3 devices. But if you look, you see one streak, which obviously, you know, it's going so fast that you won't be able to pick up just the actual object. You would only pick up the streak because it's going so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a projectile. So that streak you see up there is a projectile. And then there's one, if you look closely, there's actually 2 of them here. You can see another one right under it. Right there. See, you see one on top and then one on the bottom. There are 2 of them. There's one on top, one on the bottom. One on top, one on the bottom. There are 2 separate streaks there. Matter of fact, if you stop it right there, you can kind of see both of them faintly.
I sent it to you via email, Colin. Check your email real quick.
Okay, gotcha. And then here's even another one. So you have those 2. So you have those 2 streaks, and then you have yet another one right here, which is right there. So that's a third one. So that's at least 3 of them now, unless this is just on repeat. Maybe it's repeat. Okay. Oh no, you just backed up. It's repeat. Okay. So yeah. So there's at least 2 of them there for sure. And then what's this? Okay, that's nothing. All right. Yeah. So we got that. Let me pull that up real quick. Let me find. You said you sent it to my email.
Yes, sir. It's a pretty big email. It's about 33 megabytes. So.
Gotcha. Download.
Yep,
all right. Let me go ahead and pull it up then. Give me a second.
And you know, like those projectiles hitting that ground, that's 100% why they paved there too as well. Minus the little pieces of you know, the microphone flying everywhere. I really believe it was because those projectiles You know, if it was just pieces of the microphone, they could say, oh, you know, his mic fell and somebody stepped on it, it broke, you know. But with them projectiles, 6, 7 projectiles on the ground, especially after those guys were looking around all over the ground after that assassination, walking around trying to clean up the spot. You know how people have videos after the whole show where there's guys walking around from his you know, audio team, his security team, just walking around scavenging everything on the floor. They're guaranteed looking for them projectiles. That was my original hypothesis on that initially.
Oh, without a doubt, absolutely. You know,
You know, it's just easier for them to just pave over everything.
Exactly, 100%. That's why they paved over everything, to get rid of the evidence.
Yep, that's it. Yep, that's the video.
Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll play it. Like I said, we'll play it without doing anything to it first. We'll just let it play, and then we'll stop it and talk about it afterwards.
See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? Look at that.
Oh yeah, wow. It's like in short succession, like they shot a bunch of them out all in short succession.
You see that? And listen, when you look at the initial videos of that whole event, you can see a black wire all the way across that going down. You know what I'm saying? Going from the camera, going up with a black wire. Then later on, when you see the audio team come out there, they start making modifications. You see one of them guys stand on a chair, and then he puts a white tape over that black line so you can't see it attached to it. That's what I noticed. I had a before picture and after picture of the event. And, you know, in the later picture, there's a big ass white tape across the whole thing. So you couldn't see them wires, you know, dangling up there. They taped them all down. So, you know, it was obvious they're trying to, you know, hide something. Even Terraform sitting on that chair and taking the SD card out, you know, it's all related. It's without a doubt, it's all related.
Oh, 100%, dude. But yeah, so if you look at it here, you can see, boom, there's 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, at least 4. I see at least 4. All right. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only seeing 4, not 5. But regardless,
Could have been, yeah, it could have been 4. I haven't looked at that video in a while. Like after I saw that, I was like, they tried to tell me those were bugs. I mean, try to record a bug on a camera like that. It's impossible.
Exactly.
Secondly, I actually had to research this very thoroughly. Bugs don't fly in a straight motion. They never fly in a straight line. It's impossible. It goes against nature. They only fly in 3, 4 different patterns, and none of them are straight. It's like circular. It's like a bobbing pattern. So, you know, that's not bugs. I know for a fact with that. I mean, obviously, with the next clip we're going to show them, you're going to see that it's not bugs. You're going to see little pieces and projectiles flying everywhere.
Okay. Let me. What I do with it? Did I lose it? Hold on. There's another one I wanted to show because that if you know there's 4, we see 4 of them there, and those 4 match perfectly with the one that. Oh man, what'd I do with it? Hold on, let me go to my history. I want to try to find the one from what's his face that we found.
It's crazy. Not many people emphasize, you know, in this assassination. This is a very important part of it because this shows you the conspiracy. This shows you that everybody's involved in this. There's no way you can have another contraption and then say a sniper shot him. You get what I'm saying? This is like this is the nail in the coffin that shows this is a conspiracy. This isn't just some lone gunman. You know, obviously with everything else that's come through, it's undeniable. But like, you know, like there's no escaping this right here. This little contraption.
Okay, yeah, this is the one I want to show. Okay, so this as you can see, there were 4 projectiles, and he's showing 3 of them here but I think there's actually 4. Let me find my video again, because my video actually showed them. So let me pull up my video again. Is this the one? Okay, yeah. Okay, here you go. Okay, yeah. So here you go. Boom. Look, we got one right there, right by that guy. The guy in a black shirt with the all the way at the back of the tent, standing next to Butch Hibbs. Look above his head. Oops, hold on. Look above his head.
One second.
Where's it at? Right there. Boom. See that? That's the first one right there, right above his head, right in his hairline.
You're
See
not
that
seeing
white
it.
speck?
You haven't changed the picture, or you haven't changed the
It's
the
not on
screen.
yet. Hold on.
No, it's not on yet.
Oh shit. My bad.
You're
Sorry.
good. No, you're good.
Okay, so on the right side of the screen, standing next to Butch Hibbs, is this guy in the black shirt with the tan pants or whatever, towards the back, right at the back of the tent, standing right at the edge of the tent. Pay attention to his hairline. See that white speck right there?
Yeah,
Right
damn,
on
I
his
see that now. I
hairline?
see that white speck. Yep, I see that white speck now. Crap,
Yep,
yeah, I never saw that. I didn't notice that. That's
that's the
wild.
first one. Yep. And then if you keep going, boom, there's another one. Oop, hold on. Yep, there's another one right there.
Yeah, that makes sense. It displaces the air around it and whatever debris flying around. That makes perfect sense. That's also what we probably saw when it shot past the what's his name? Dan Flood. It's probably the debris being pushed away from the air. That's why it made it look white. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's guaranteed what that was. Yeah, that's some good inference. I didn't notice that.
Yep.
Because the direction it goes to, it looks like it's going much lower than it actually is. But that's obviously because the air, it's displacing the air around it. You get what I'm saying? So that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
If you see the line I drew there, because I followed the line from where the shots were, and you can see it. It goes from the top of the tent there, basically right to Charlie's head,
Yeah, that's almost undeniable at this point. Wow. Yeah.
Yep. I'll let this just play real quick. That way you can watch it. But yeah, you can see right there. And then there's his necklace fly off or whatever. But yeah, let me go ahead and play it for you guys so you can see it.
Not counting gang violence. Great.
And even the different angles, like you can tell the speakers were modified to play audio sound. You know that with the gunshot? Because if you're listening from the left side, like right where the middle is, away from the speakers, it sounded like an explosion. Even from the live footage Blake Bettenarez originally showed, the up close one next to the table, you can tell, man, they modified the speakers to play like a gunshot sound that echoes. Like they went way overboard to try to no.
I actually no. I think there was definitely a gunshot there that day. I think there was a gunshot as well to mask the sound of the explosion. I think there was an actual gun fired.
I believe that too. Like, listen, without a doubt, I believe they fired a gun too, or a blank or something.
The reason I say that is because if you go to Zeb Boykin's channel, he had an audio expert that came on and did an amazing job breaking down the audio from that day. He ran so many tests, like every test you could possibly imagine. He ran like 20 different tests of the sound profiles and everything. And one of the things that really stuck with me is he said that there's no way for them to the speakers would not be able to hit that supersonic note.
I see what you're saying.
the speaker's capacity to hit that supersonic note, and you can see the supersonic note on the levels when he shows it.
I understand. I mean, that makes perfect sense. They obviously have to make the sound too to make it believable. You know, it can't just be audio on a speaker. So that makes perfect sense. See, I'm not the audio guy. John Bray did a flawless job with the audio editing and stuff. I'm more of the visual guy, man, because I spend like 90% of my time is always in the laboratory, man. I'm creating vacuums. You know, I do a lot of stuff in the lab, man. I do.
You're a mad scientist.
Exactly. You know, I do metal. What do you call it? Precious metal extractions. You know, like smelting. I do everything pretty much, man. Ballistics. You know, chemical. You know, composition of drugs and stuff. I do a lot of stuff, man. So, you know, it's like my bread and butter is just the visual stuff. I watch things under vacuum 24/7. Like I know when you know oxygen is displaced inside of a vacuum. You know, I know like compounds under vacuum how they behave. I know how metals behave under vacuum. And when that explosion went off, you know, that's how I knew. You know, there was an explosion going off because the explosion. You know, it actually takes the oxygen away from you too because it displaces the oxygen around you. So you technically lose your breath. That's why Charlie, when that thing goes off, you can tell like he's gasping for breath, almost like somebody's on the what do you call it, Millennium or what do they call that ride at Cedar Point, that super fast ride. I can't remember what it's called, but you know, it takes your breath away when it's, you know, it displaces the air around you. It displaces all the oxygen, so you know somebody's gasping for breath. So I knew right away that wasn't a gunshot because a gunshot will go straight through you, you know. And secondly, the radial expansion you see. You know, the radius in the amount of size around Charlie's head and his face, that's a big cue for explosion. That it's not a gunshot. A gunshot is more linear expansion. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Anybody who spends enough time in a lab and knows physics very well can see this right off the bat. Like, you know, you can't lie to somebody who's, you know, spent more than 500-600 hours in a laboratory.
Yep, exactly. And by the way, the person here had a comment. There were two bangs that people heard, a louder one and a softer one. Absolutely.
Of course,
I heard this. Absolutely. Definitely. You know, and also when the guy did the audio analysis of that, he pointed that out too. He pointed out that there are two separate distinct events that happened.
I agree. I did a breakdown too in one of my videos where I showed the audio of the gunshot, audio of the patent. And, you know, I kept going back and forth like 12 times, and you can hear almost two sounds go off.
Absolutely. Zeb Boykin, Boykin, and that's on YouTube. Zeb Boykin, yeah, right here. Zeb Boykin, that's his name. But I would highly suggest you guys go check out his channel. This was about maybe about 2 months ago that he had the audio analysis on. It was a live stream he did. Very, very, very good. I mean, that to me, that sold it for me 100%. That there was definitely that it could not have been the speakers. I
see.
Because before I was on like it could be the speakers, it could be something else. I mean, to be honest, I was leaning more towards gunshot, but I hadn't ruled out the speakers until I saw that. When I saw what he did, that 100%, I was like, no way.
Logically, no, I agree with that completely. I completely agree. You know, I just, even with any of the audio, like after I saw what happened in slow motion, bro, I had zero doubt. I didn't even look at the audio. I didn't look at anything. I was like, bro, this is just crazy. How's somebody going to tell me what my eyes are seeing? I see it, man. I spent enough time in a laboratory to know how physics behave. You know what I'm saying? How things are supposed to behave. So you can't sit here and lie to me and tell me, and then they try to tell you the cavitation. You know, I didn't spend 9-10 years in school, you know, at a college level physiology just for somebody to tell me that you're, you know, that a cavitation will do that without bursting in 50 billion pieces of brain matter and tissue all over the place, which is ridiculous. Yep. You know, they try to tell you that's his neck stretching out like that. They think it's some Looney Tunes.
You want me to go ahead and show this one now?
Yeah, this is the most important one. Yep.
All right.
Might have to zoom in a little bit further. Yep, you see it?
There's no way to zoom in on here, unfortunately.
You have to point it out because I can't see it on my screen. I think it's because I'm using my phone and it's minimized. There it is. Yep, I see it now. Yep, it hits the back and flies in the air. Yep,
Yep, you can see it though.
I see it now. Yep,
That's where the projectile hit him. You can actually see where it hit him in the back.
yeah.
That tells you for sure there was at least two separate devices, at least.
And the way it's recoiling, it's almost like it's rolling too. So it must have been debris from something that the projectile hit too as well. It's either debris from the projectile or the actual pieces from the projectile. You know, because people don't understand that. You know, there's something called a dime. The acronym for it is DIME, D-I-M-E. It's called a dense inert metal explosive. This is what Israelis use in almost all their bombs and stuff. And all their little personal contraptions that kill people and explode in your face or blow off your hands and stuff. They use these little metal cubes in there that are made to, like, you know, like blow stuff up and then make it look like you know, pieces of the bomb hit you, when it was really like little tiny shrapnels and stuff inside of bombs, which is illegal. It's against international law to use these kind of devices because they go into your spine, your back, you know, and they end up, you know, some of the materials they use are like depleted uranium, so it'll give you cancer after too. So even if you survive, you'll end up getting cancer down the road.
Yep.
Well, that's what it
And
could
by
have
the
been.
way,
Go ahead.
and by the way, you can also see the infrared. Remember how me and Steve were talking about the infrared laser on Frank's phone? You can
Yeah.
see it here too at the exact same moment, you know, where those things are going off that are behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it for sure, absolutely. Because when he was falling over like this is about when those things behind him went off, and that's the exact time you see that infrared laser on Frank's phone where he picks up the infrared laser.
I did. I think somebody mentioned that to me in the comments, man. I just didn't look into it. There's just so much details in regards to this thing. Like, you know, it took me, imagine that this little, you know, little snippet I just found. It's been almost a year now, and I'm just evaluating the same piece of video. And when you're looking at things in slow motion, you'll always pick up things that you don't usually see. You know, especially in physics. Like in my lab, when I always tend to record stuff at like very high frame rate, and then I end up rewatching it. You know, when I do a very long distillation, or when I do some, you know, some compounds that I'm mixing or making, or like, you know, dissolving some metals, I always watch it in very slow motion, and then rewatch it and see things in the reaction, or things like I don't usually see when I do it. You know, because like there's small things that so many things happen in slow motion you can't really catch. You see what I'm saying? So when you reevaluate it in slow motion, you see a lot of things you can't usually catch with your eye when you're viewing it at regular frame rate. So it's important.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. 100%, brother. And you could also see, like, from the device that's under his shirt, you can also see the, you know, the air puff, which I pointed this out in a previous video too. But you can see the puff of air underneath his, you know, it's coming out of his sleeve or whatever.
Exactly. And listen, see where his back is. See where his thoracic, where the back area. See that part right? See exactly right there. That little like you see how it moves upwards and not downwards. That means if the bullet was coming from the top and struck his neck, you'd see the wave go downwards. But instead, you're seeing that wave of air go upwards out of his neck sleeve. Does that make sense?
Exactly. And that's also why I say it's the transmitter, not the microphone itself, which was on his waist. Now, as you and I were talking off camera, it's a possibility they could have both gone off, honestly, because we know there were at least two devices. There was the one behind him, so it's quite possible that they had rigged both of them to explode.
I agree. I agree. I completely agree.
Especially because, you know, if you look at the past photos that I've shown,
there's a bruise there.
Real quick. Yeah, there's a bruise on his waist. Right where that thing was. Let me show it real quick. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, this tab. Okay, so yeah, so if you look, that is where. Well, hey, let me show you this one first. If you look at this one, right on his waist, right there on the left side, that is where the transceiver is. You can see the little outline of the little square transceiver on his waist,
Mhm.
right there, right in line with where his neck is, where the wound to his neck was.
Mhm.
So that is the first thing. And then
The bruises,
if you
yeah.
look, here is the bruise, which is the exact same, which is in the exact same location as where the shirt, as where the transmitter, where the transmitter was on his waist, right there.
Mhm.
So there was definitely an explosion there because we have the bruise, which proves it. And then the thing that Barron, I don't know if I could find it easily, but then the picture that Barron posted yesterday, yeah, I don't have that off the top of my head, but the one that, or not yesterday, I think the day before, but then the picture that Barron posted where he said that, that there's like a bruise over there, where it looks like there might be, honestly, it looks kind of more like blood smear to me, but it could be a
Mhm.
bruise, but, so it's a possibility like that.
It
That
really
obviously
was.
it's the transmitter was not up there for sure. It's definitely not the transmitter because I proved it was on his waist. But that could be that bruising could be from the actual mic exploding up here as well. So
Yeah,
it
and
could
then
be.
how things falls because people don't understand when that, like, listen, in order to trigger that pattern, that's why he cringes in the beginning. He feels that microphone getting hot, it's touching against his neck. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh
He
yeah,
knew. That's why people started coming up with that conspiracy that, oh, it's staged, it was a squib and all that garbage. No, it's because when they set that pattern off, there's a few second delay when it starts warming up before it explodes. Because in order to explode, it has to warm up the pattern. And listen, even the trigger they used for that, those are only military grade. For a heat ramping device, the only thing that can do is like a military grade. The military is the only, there's a company that sells to the military that sells these type of triggers. I looked this up. I saw this up. There's obviously a lot of big guys involved in this thing because you can't just make these triggers. You actually got to get them prepared from these military companies that contract for the military. You know. So I knew and when it warms up, you can see him cringe, like, what the heck? When somebody doesn't know what's going on, they're like, what the hell? Why is my mic heating up? And you see him turn his neck, then boom, you know? And, secondly, if that thing was wired on his waist, there's a chance it didn't explode properly. You get what I'm saying? There's I mean, look at the main. Oh, there's no audio. I think the audio cut off.
yeah, it
There.
didn't explode properly. That's the thing. It was meant to, whatever hit him. I mean, whatever was meant to hit him was meant to hit him in the chest. They had meant it to hit him in the chest and the heart to make it look like a 30-06.
Exactly.
But instead, and I don't know whether it's because he was leaning forward, or whether it's
It was
because the
that.
necklace. It could have been one of two things. It could have been because he was leaning forward, or it could have been because whatever was the shape charge that was projected out of it could have hit his necklace, and that deflected it towards the neck instead of where it was supposed to
I
go.
know for a fact it wasn't from the necklace because the necklace, the actual pendant, is what keeps that necklace. If both ends of that necklace shot out, then the whole necklace would have shot out. You see what I'm saying? That's why only one part swung around. What actually stopped it is, like you're saying, the movement. Because if you notice the top of his
Yeah.
neck sleeve, they kept it open a little bit and it was aimed because they knew it needed oxygen for it. It needed to pull in oxygen from outside of his shirt for it to explode properly. But it was suffocated. When you see him moving forward and moving around and he's like, messing with the mic, that's what actually caused this thing to misfire. They calculated this. They knew this. That's why they put that second, contraption behind him. So he's
I
really,
agree.
so that's what really screwed them over. Him moving around, him fidgeting with it, and you can tell he was uncomfortable because the way it was, it was dangling in there. Which
Yeah, I
is
mean,
very
if you see did you see the video I posted yesterday, right before it happened, when he was talking to the trans hecklers behind him or whatever, where
I
you could see
did.
him actually adjust the mic?
I did see that. Yep. I did see that. I did
Yeah,
see
you
that.
could see
That's where.
it where you could tell it was uncomfortable on him because he was.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because he was. Is that this the one? New? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's the one right here. So let me make sure I'm sharing this real quick. There we go. All right, but yeah, if you look at
Yep. That's
this,
it. He's adjusting it. Like, you see how it's open where the next sleeve is? You see how it's open? You see like a massive empty space? You see that? Your mic is muted again, Carl.
Yeah, I see it. Absolutely. Oh, that's another thing, by the way. This video points out, where Baron says the transmitter is taped up underneath his nipple or whatever. You can clearly see in this video as well that that's not the case. There's nothing. There's nothing there. The only thing there is the microphone.
It's not taped there. I'm telling you, it's Brian Harple's bag, his little fanny pack or whatever side bag he has on his arm. That's what that flap makes it look like. It's across his whole chest. It's really not. I actually looked into that. I was like, bro, there's no way you wouldn't see that under his white shirt. So I know for a fact that's not a strap, without a doubt. I can post I'll post a picture in a few too as well on my X, just to show everybody.
Yeah, definitely do that. But I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. But let's finish watching this real quick, because I want people to see him adjust the microphone.
Buddy, I'll tell you. Let's get started. God bless Utah. Yes, sir.
Look out there.
You can see it right there. He's adjusting the microphone.
Look how awkward it looks, man. It just looks so uncomfortable.
Yep. Yep. Anyway, that is. You got anything else, or is that what we? That's basically all we got, right?
Yep, that was pretty much it on that. Yeah, that was just that thing I just found last night, man. Because every night, like when I do my research, I just sit down and rewatch them old high quality videos in case I missed something, and just bring it to everybody.
I've been doing the same thing lately because it's good, especially because we didn't know this. We didn't know what we know now back then, so it's good to go back and rewatch the stuff that we put out previously to see what, because now with the new information, we know what to look for, and we can look for certain things that maybe we missed before, or maybe makes sense now that didn't make sense then,
Exactly.
Which is, excellent. Like I said, when I saw your post this morning with that, it was excellent, man.
Thank you.
Like you proved that there was definitely a secondary device, like I had thought from the beginning. Because like I said, you show it, and you could even yours is clear enough that you could even see the actual puff of air that's projecting the damn thing out of it. So
exactly.
I mean, you can't deny with that. There's not a bug. It's projected. You can see the puff of air projected out of it. So
yeah, man, it's just like, at this point, them trying to beat around the bush, like, it's crazy, man. It's insane. It's dementia, bro. It's literally dementia. What you're seeing is literally a government that's like has full on dementia, man. Just trying to play this charade with this
psyop.
Yeah, man, it's
massive
crazy.
Psyop. They're bad. That's how you know they're bad actors, man. Gary, that Lisa Nose chick, they're all bad actors. They don't care what the evidence says. They're going to refute it with whatever kind of garbage bullshit they can come up with, because they don't care about the truth. They just care about pushing a certain agenda. That's all it is. And it's apparent to everybody. I mean, everybody sees it and knows it.
They're getting violent about it too. You see the threats Frank Turk made against Candace and all that stuff. That's how you know they're full of shit.
Honestly,
you'd be chill if you knew what you were saying was the truth. You'd just be chill about it and just like ignore everybody else. But these guys are just going nuts about it, man. They're going crazy. So,
that's kind of what scares me though, is because they know that we got them red-handed, man. We've got them red-handed. There's no way. I mean, all the evidence points to they were involved, and they know that. They know they're caught. They know they're caught. And what they are is they're like it's akin to like a caged animal, like a cornered animal, like a raccoon, if you get a rabid raccoon cornered, in a cage or something, he's going to be snarling and spitting mad and acting out, trying to hurt you.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
exactly what they're doing now. Like, I couldn't believe on national TV, on national news, Frank Turk threatened to assassinate Candace Owens, threatened
It's
to
crazy, man.
kill her. Insane. And he looked like the devil while he was doing it. He looked like a
No,
demon,
you
man. His
said
face was bright red. He was like looked like he was
it.
possessed, man.
No, yeah, man, you said it, bro. And they're just like they're cornered, man. They have no recourse. Their whole investigation, their whole court case is just falling apart in front of their face. Their lobbying groups that they're attached to, are falling apart. APAC can't do shit no more. People have seen how they're rigging these elections. There's no way Thomas Massey lost that election. That's just
Oh no.
insane. I did some investigating. The UVU investigation actually helped me unfold a lot of things. What they do with those mail-in ballots is, you see how during UVU investigation, people started to find out that Palantir and Peter Thiel and all these corporations own those houses around that area, and they own a lot of stuff around that campus. That's what they do. They actually have people with dual citizenship that are assigned or supposedly live in those houses. And what they do is they mail in ballots. They have people that go in there when it's election time in those areas, and they mail in their ballots. And that's how they're winning the election. That's why they're looking into the mail-in ballots thing now. People know, it's wide open. You can't keep using these goddamn tricks, man. It's over. Especially with these assassinations, these JFK. There's so many assassinations we can go over, man. We got to do an episode where we go over a lot of this stuff. Even these celebrities that die in these, crazy, unbelievable assassin or deaths, or those ain't coincidences. I'm sorry. It's, you can see
No,
it clearly
Kobe
there.
Bryant, for example. Kobe Bryant was
Exactly.
assassinated. You're never gonna.
Exactly.
You're not gonna convince me otherwise. They assassinated
Exactly.
Kobe Bryant.
We can do one on that too. We can do. We'll do one on a next stream on that. Because I have all the
Yep.
receipts. Netanyahu isn't a well-known NBA fan. You don't see him wearing a Kobe Bryant jersey anywhere on TV before. You don't see him in a front row at the Knicks games either, huh? So
Nope.
there's a lot of fishy stuff, man. But it is what it is, man. Thank you for having me on,
Big
Colin.
time.
I appreciate it, bro, for sure.
Likewise. But yeah, so about the cornered rat though, man, they're dangerous. So I'm actually I think everybody needs to pray for Candace Owens. I think we need to pray for Candace Owens' safety because they're cornered now. They're desperate. I definitely think that they, if they had a chance to take her out, I think they would.
Oh, without a doubt. She slipped on a banana peel, huh? They'll tell you she slipped on a banana peel.
Yeah, or she had a heart attack or something. Believe me, they will find a way to kill her if they can.
Oh, I know.
They're desperate. If they killed Charlie, they will kill her too, and that's what we've got to worry about. But the thing is, it won't stop any of us. If they kill her, then 50 more of her will pop up. The rest of us will be even louder. Just like when Charlie died, that brought all of us out to come on and attach. And if they kill her, then it's going to bring even more people to our side. So they know that's why they haven't done it yet, because they know it's a bad idea. But the thing I'm concerned about is the more desperate that they get, it's going to get to the point where they don't even care, because they know that they're caught, and they're going to do anything to try to
they already don't care, Colin, man. They already don't care, man. They're killing kids in 4K television, man.
Oh, I know. Yeah, man. And another thing which we need to pray for is Tyler Robinson's safety, because I really believe that they're going to try to kill him before the trial.
Oh man, I can see that. I didn't think of that, but I really haven't even been thinking of Tyler Robinson, because I don't know, man.
They're never going to let him make it to trial, because all the evidence suggests he's innocent. And if that guy, gets out, if he gets found not guilty, then that means all of them are on the hook. And the people will be pointing at them.
He hung himself. Watch us hear about him hanging himself. Just wait, man.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to Epstein him. That's what I'm afraid of. They're going to try to Epstein him.
God knows, Colin. This thing. I hope these people get held responsible for this. This is crazy. This is insanity, man. Unlike the JFK assassination, we have all the receipts. Everything is clear as day.
Yeah, this isn't a, you know, a 40, 50 year plus long mystery. Like we know what happened. We crowdsourced it. We know what happened. We know the players involved. You know, all we need is to get a damn a non-corrupt government agency that's willing to actually investigate it and charge these fuckers, you know?
Yeah,
That's what
I
needs to
agree.
happen. And
Or frontier justice, man. Frontier justice never fails, huh?
well, no, I don't wish anybody harm as far
I'm
as
being
that or whatever.
sarcastic. I'm just being
Okay, yeah.
sarcastic.
But yeah, I definitely don't you know, I don't want any harm like that. But I will say this though is I do pray that we get real justice for Charlie and these people are held accountable in the court of law, that they face you know, for their crimes. But at the same time, if nothing else comes from it, at least we are holding them guilty in the court of public opinion for the rest of their life. Everywhere they go, people will be looking at them and say, those are the people that betrayed Charlie. Those are the people that killed Charlie. And for the rest of their life, Erica Kirk, yep, for the rest of their life, everywhere Erica Kirk goes, they're going to say, she's a black widow. She killed Charlie. They're going to say she's protecting pedophiles, just like she got shouted down at the stage the other day for being a pedophile protector. Everywhere she goes, that's going to happen. I don't want her to ever be able to even go to dinner without people calling her a murderer and a pedophile protector. And the same goes with all of them, man. But they're going to live with that for the rest of their life.
I couldn't agree more, brother. Couldn't agree more.
Yep.
You know? We'll have to see how things pan out further with this investigation and, you know, see what they do with this Tyler Robinson, man. It's just, to me, it's dementia, man. The way they're moving about with this thing. And, like, it's just like, you know, it's like playing house, you know, just like little kids playing house and just making bullshit up as they go. And, you know, the whole world sees this differently, man. Everybody knows what's going on. People have woken up to this. From the time this happened till now, everybody knows that it was that microphone, man. You know, they knew it was rigged. They knew this was assassination, and there's no denying it. There's no denying, especially the videos, the high quality 4K video of it going up. You know, like you can't lie to us anymore, man.
The only people that don't know the truth are like the boomers that aren't online and all they watch is Fox News, so they haven't seen any of this stuff. And also the people that are actual shills that are politically aligned with Turning Point. So they'll just parrot their bullshit, or they're paid off by Turning Point, which is the case for like Gary and that Lisa knows.
I call them Paramount Testicle.
Yeah,
that's what I
exactly.
Paramount Testicle.
Paramount Testicle and Lisa knows nothing.
That guy is so full of shit, man. That guy is so full of shit.
Big time. Biggest grifter I've ever seen in my life. He wants to call everybody else a grifter, but he literally is the biggest grifter I've ever seen in my life.
Man, that guy is just way out of there, man. And the people they bring to propagandize, like, they're not even good at it, bro. They're just like horrible. It actually makes their cause worse. When they pay these people, these shills, to come out here and make up all this bullshit and try to muddy the waters, it only makes them look worse. You know, like,
it really does. It makes them look more guilty, and they don't realize that because they have the worst PR. They're doing, I think if Andrew Colbett's still doing their PR, he's the worst ever. Whoever's doing their PR is absolutely the worst.
It's also because they're
horrible advice.
You know, it's also because they're psychopaths. That's really why. You know, so it is what it is, brother. It is what it is, my man. I got to get going, bro. I got to go pick up the kids, man. I appreciate you calling, man. Thank you, man. Anytime you got time, we'll do another collab, huh? I appreciate it, man.
Somebody just said in the comment,
Baron is going live. I see that.
Somebody just said Baron's going live now, so it's a good time to get off anyway, so people can go ahead and follow over there and watch him. Thank you for joining me, Ali. Make sure you guys go follow him. Oh, yeah. Like I said, again, his name is @ZerikMeister on X. Make sure you follow him because, like, he's been working on it since the beginning, man, with this exploding mic. Like, other than John Bray, him and John Bray are probably the two most people that have the most knowledge and experience when it comes to the exploding mic shit. So follow, even more than me or anybody. So Candace or Baron, any of them. So make sure you follow this guy, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Paul. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys always. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this cause to the front line, man. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening.
You too, brother. Thanks. See you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.